Hello, and welcome to Through the Monocle. Today we will be discussing the Martin Scorsese epic Goodfellas. As always, I'm your host, and 2.5 hours into this recording, I'm ready to bring out my co-host, Grant Skillen. How are you doing, Grant?
I'm here, I guess.
Don't sound too excited about it now. So, speaking of things to
I'm
be
good.
he's good.
Could be worse. I'll tell you that. Could be worse. We did not just watch Howard the Duck or Batman and Robin.
But have we watched Howard the Duck, we'd have been out of here 3 minutes earlier.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of things to be excited about, we're doing a giveaway. And this episode's question is, what is your favorite Robert De Niro movie? And so if you just subscribe to the channel, like the video, and answer the question, you will be entered. And there are some other things you can do, like watch the other video out this week and be in for a timestamp on that one to get more entries so you can win the Martin Scorsese collection, where you win this movie, the one we talked about last week, and the one we're talking about in week 4. All right, Grant, you've seen Goodfellas for what, the 8th time now?
Yeah, sure. We'll go with that.
Yeah. Did you like it?
It was fine. To me, this movie falls in with The Departed in that it's definitely a good movie. I see why people love it. I just don't think it's for me.
I get it. I do.
This isn't some of the other ones that I've had unfavorable opinions on where I'm like, I don't like this aspect. Like the stuff I don't like here is just like it just seems like a little too much to me, but it's the style. I know that it's just not exactly for me. I can still see why I can still see it's a good movie and why people like it though.
Did you enjoy parts of it?
There were definitely parts of it that were enjoyable.
Okay, fair enough.
All the jokes.
Oh, dude, the jokes are so good.
We were joking. We need to do a counter of how many of the I'm something here I made.
Yeah, we need to do a video. The
But I don't have time to sit through 2.5 hours of it and cut each of those out and put it somewhere else. That's way too much work.
Yeah, I will say the commentary is pretty good this week. So if you haven't checked that out already, go do that. This is one of my favorite movies. This is I think the 6th time I've seen it, 6th or 7th. I've seen it a lot. I really like this movie. The over the topness doesn't bother me as much because it's just I'm here for it. I love Joe Pesci. I honestly I don't mind the violence. There are some parts of it that are kind of but I've seen Casino. Casino's worse. Casino, Joe Pesci puts some guy's head in a vice and starts to squeeze, and it gets kind of. But this one isn't as bad. It's a little earlier. It's a little less graphic. I guess still graphic. He's still stabbing a guy, but you're not watching the eyeball jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it definitely is graphic. You get to see somebody getting shot in the back of the head. You see spoilers.
Samuel L. Jackson. That's how he lost his hair.
Yeah, that's how he lost his hair because of the bullet that went through the back of his head.
Yes.
And then the guy that you see at the beginning of the movie, and then halfway through, the guy getting stabbed in the trunk. It's even some other ones. There's
dude,
definitely
it's
more
so violent. It's so violent.
It is violent. I wouldn't say it necessarily bothered me. There's some of it where I'm like, is that really necessary? But
well, see, okay, so we can debate necessary because the answer is no. To make the movie and make it impactful, no. But to portray accurately how terrible these people are, it is 100% necessary.
Yeah.
And it is an accurate portrayal. Henry Hill, the guy this movie's about, said that Joe Pesci's character was 90% accurate, and the only thing that wasn't was he was a little bitty dude.
That he was Pesci.
He was Pesci. It's such a good movie. It's so well made, just from being well made, I guess, is well edited, well shot, well scripted, well acted. Joe Pesci won an Oscar for this thing. It is fantastic.
The acting is definitely good. Like I said, I see why everyone loves it. It's just not for me. But when we were looking through IMDb, a lot of this movie, or at least a decent chunk of it's improvised. And that's really impressive because that shows they were able to actually get into the characters and I don't want to say be mobsters, but
Well,
act the part of it for sure.
I believe there's evidence that Joe Pesci was connected. I'm going to look that up real quick because I think he used to be.
There's a couple like full scenes that are basically entirely improvised. The one that I know for sure was the dinner with the mom, which that was Martin Scorsese's mom, and the way that he directed her about the scene was, "Oh, your son," and it's like just got back with some of his friends, make him dinner. That was what she got while there's a body in the trunk of the guy they've just killed,
Yeah.
and that makes it fun with that dynamic. But that scene was almost entirely improvised.
Yeah, it was. And for the record, Pesci was not made, but he grew up around made guys. De Niro.
Because there's something they mention it in the show. It's you have to be like Italian, and it was at the last name.
It's 100% Italian in order to get made. But
I think now there was something on IMDb about like now because I'm an expert on the mob myself. Now
specifically the Italian mob.
IMDb said something where now it's like at your father at minimum has to be like a full blood Italian
because
be Italian,
it's so tough to trace it together.
Yeah, and you have to have it like an Italian last name. So Joe Smith, whose dad is Italian,
can't get it.
Probably isn't being made.
But that isn't to say he can't get connected.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can definitely be connected, but to be made.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just such a good movie. Like, what was your favorite scene, Grant?
It honestly might have been that dinner because it's so funny of the mom just trying to like connect with her son, and the son's like, "Hey, can I borrow the knife? Hey, can we get a shovel?" Just like trying to get out of there.
Yeah, having dinner with his mom while there's a body rotting in his trunk.
Mm-hmm. As one does. As one does.
Yeah. I personally love the. What do you mean I'm funny? Funny like I'm a clown, like I'm here to entertain you.
That one was improvised too. You were talking about it.
It definitely was, and it was based on a true like experience that Pesci had. Hence, growing up around made guys.
Yeah, and that scene was also very well acted, even though it was improvised. Like you definitely there's always those moments, even if it's not necessarily that. But I think a lot of people have at least been in a situation like that where it's like, okay,
it's like, why are you mad at me?
Yeah, why are you taking this way beyond what it was meant to be? And I think it was incredibly well acted because you kind of felt that tension and that awkwardness in the scene. So he's like, "Nah, I'm just playing with you."
Yeah, exactly.
I'm playing it.
Hey, I'm playing it. Yeah.
I added that. I edited. I say edited. I cut that while we were recording the other one. So now that I've got it, I've got to use it.
Yes. I will say Ray Liotta turned down this role in Batman '89 in order to be in this movie, which I think was the right choice. The movie, like, he does such a good job handling the tension. He does such a good job with the humor. Like, at no point does the humor outweigh the tension, but it does provide a nice little break from holy crap, what are these guys doing? Yeah.
But I mean, we got to see Billy D. Williams in Batman, so it worked out.
It did. Yeah, I really like this movie. Like, I wish I had more to say about it, but I just really like this movie.
Yeah, I mean, it's a classic. I don't have the graphic, but I mean, I looked up the Rotten Tomatoes earlier. It's 96 critic, 97 audience, might have been flipped. Doesn't matter. Everyone loves this movie, except me, apparently. And I don't hate it. It's just not for me.
Yeah, and like, I don't know, what would your letter grade be on it?
I'd have to think about it. I know we don't normally do letter grades here, so I haven't done a letter grade in a while.
Yeah, we don't. I'm just curious to see how you feel. Like obviously, like you're not if you were to be critically reviewing this movie, you're not going to take off points for you not liking it.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like there's a feel, like us as critics, there's like a feel meter that like I just really it made me uncomfortable. I didn't like it. And then there's an that movie is objectively good.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, no, like like I was saying, I definitely see why people like it. I don't know. If I had to like personally give it one, probably like a B.
really, that
Because
high for a movie you didn't like?
I didn't say I didn't like it. I just said it's not necessarily for me.
Yeah, it's I get it, man. Like I do. This is an A plus for me. I love this movie. I love all of Scorsese's mob stuff. Like it doesn't get any better than Scorsese. Yeah. Gosh, I wish I had more to say. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
I mean, I can scroll through some of the
Yeah,
IMDb stuff we went over.
do that.
Um, I think you already mentioned it, but according to Henry Hill, who is one of the characters and whose life was the basis of it, Joe Pesci's thing was 99.9% accurate. You mentioned that one, like I said.
Yeah,
Um, according to Nicholas Pileggi, that's how I'm going to say that name.
that's I think how it is.
Um,
Maybe
you went through
Pickleson.
this one in the watch along, but not here. Some mobsters were hired as extras to lend authenticity to scenes. The mobsters gave Warner Brothers fake social security numbers, and no one knows how they received their paychecks.
And that is amazing. That is
Yeah,
like
that
the
is
most mob thing to do.
for
So a lot of these movies have mobsters on set to make sure that nobody says anything that's going to get anybody in trouble.
yeah, and this talked about that too, and it's kind of to help guide. They had like associates of like the people portrayed in the movie. That way, they could kind of give like tidbits about how the person would react in different circumstances.
And also to make sure that
Um,
nobody gets incriminated in a movie.
oh yeah,
Because that's a
for sure,
real
for sure.
issue. And what happens if somebody gets incriminated in a movie? Somebody associated with the movie gets whacked.
Oh yeah. Uh, this one's kind of a sad one. I mentioned this one during the watch along, but Ray Liotta's mom passed away from cancer during filming, and he said he used the anger from that in some of the different scenes, kind of just as a way to enhance the movie, including the one where he's pistol whipping the guy who was assaulting his. Were they married at that point, or just
I think they were
dating?
his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah. Uh, beat the crap out of him with a pistol and not with the bullet.
And then had his girlfriend go hide the gun. That's how you know she's marriage material.
Oh yeah,
That's how
she
you
has the
know.
gun for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After Joe Pesci's mother saw the film, she told him the movie was good, then asked if he had the curse so much.
The
And that
answer?
gets into one of the famous facts about this movie. At the time it came out, had the um,
F
most
bombs.
bombs dropped.
Is what is
I
it?
think it's like
273?
something like that. It's an average of like 1 or 2 a minute.
Yeah, I think the new king is the Wolf of Wall Street. I think is the
Wolf of
current.
Wall Street's actually third. I remember seeing that, but that one's Martin Scorsese's most.
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up, man. I'm gonna find it.
I'll let you look it up.
I think the Wolf of Wall Street is like the top for like serious movies.
That's very possible.
Wolf of Wall Street's third. There's a movie called SwearNet the movie, and its entire point is to fit as much swearing as possible. It's a trailer park board.
Nice.
The poster literally says because people effing swear. Number 2 is a movie about the F word.
Okay, so it's basically number 1.
So Wolf of Wall Street is number 1 for like serious actual movies, and that sounds terrible. And I don't mean to diminish people's hard work. It just, I don't know. I can't count those other 2 as higher.
Nice. I'm laughing at some of these. I'm laughing at some of these facts.
Yeah. Give us 1 or 2
when Henry and Karen Hill were negotiating to enter the witness protection program, former U.S. Attorney Edward McDonald played himself. He was the guy who was negotiating with them to go into the witness protection program.
That is cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. After the premiere of the movie, Henry Hill went around and revealed his true identity. In response, the government kicked him out of the federal witness protection program.
Yeah, because it's just hard to hide him. I don't know. Did he die? Like, did the mob kill him?
I don't know. I'm sure he's dead. That sounds bad, but
He died in 2012, so no, the mob didn't kill him because of that.
or they took a while.
No, he died of death. I'm trying to figure out exactly. Heart disease.
That was the mob.
He said CBS aired his girlfriend's report of his death, during which she said he went out pretty peacefully for a good fella. He had a heart attack and died of That's kind of surprising.
So Henry requests not to be sent to a cold place. The where he gets sent, you can tell on the newspaper, was Youngstown, Ohio, which gets very cold in the winter.
As of course it does. As of course it does. Because why would you give in to the demands of a mobster?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Well, anyway, not to just sit here and ramble on. If you want to know more, you can go read the IMDb. But as for our opinions, I think we both agree it's a good movie. I personally just love it. Grant is nonplussed. Is nonplussed a good word for you? In the middle, you think it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just because of personal, like.
It's just not for you. There are plenty of movies that aren't for me, but I can admit they're good. I got you. I think it did what it set out to do. I think it's a really good story. I think like all of the things, it's definitely rewatchable. Like I said, this is like the 6th time I've seen it. Grant, I'm sure you'd watch it again, even though you just thought it was fine. Probably not live on air.
I wouldn't have any problem watching it again.
Okay, but next week we're going to be rewatching Goodfellas.
Okay. Like would I go, oh, I'm going to go watch Goodfellas? I don't know, but like if someone was watching it, like sure.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I get it, man. Like I get it 100%. Well, if you've been here the full 2 hours, 41 minutes, and 23 seconds, thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't, thank you so much for joining us. And no, there's another like 2 hours and some odd amount of content for this week. Enter the giveaway as many times as you can. And if you want to support us so we can do more giveaways, so I can force Grant to watch more movies he doesn't like, you can do that by going to patreon.com/theculturednerd. And we would love it if you did that. It really does help us out. It helps us keep the lights on. It helps all of those good things. As always, I've been your host, Grant Ingram.
And I have been your co-host, Grant Skillen. Thank you to our Patreon supporters. Thank you to Jose for the logo and Taylor for the intro.
Yep. And thank you, the viewer, for joining us. Please leave a like, subscribe, and if you're going to do that, you might as well leave a comment with your favorite Robert De Niro movie to enter the giveaway. And then if you want more of the Cultured Nerd content, you can do that by scanning the QR code on the left. If you want to see more of us, which I don't know why you would, but if you do, you can scan that QR code on the right, and there's like a whole 3 or 4 days of us doing stuff. A lot of cool interviews, a lot of cool stuff. Anyway, we'll see you next week when we talk about Hugo. And thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you then.
Hope you'll go and watch the episode.